Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. As you guys know who are regulars on the channel, this is one of our Monday, Wednesday, and Friday collective readings that I always channel on those days at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you to everyone who is tuned in here today. Know that by listening to this reading, you aren't just a passive listener, but you are actually co-creating the reading along with me here. Now, I will say that right away, I have been feeling a lot of very heavy energy, specifically around yesterday as of when this video is being released. And very particularly, this heaviness has felt like it has been dominantly around the heart space. I know that as with all of my readings and all of these messages, this may not connect with everyone. So only take this if it does resonate with you. But for someone listening, I'm just picking up a lot of sadness around the heart space. And I feel specifically for a divine feminine, this heart chakra heaviness has a few different potential sources. And one of these is feeling a kind of pulling sensation towards a particular person or connection. This could be someone from your past. It could be someone that you have sensed yourself spiritually connected with that maybe you haven't even fully interacted yet with in the physical world. But regardless of how this connects for you, it's almost like a sense of longing that, energetically speaking, is almost as though someone is pulling on your heart space. And I'm hearing that for some of you, this heart space pulling is occurring because you are actually sensing a higher timeline where the two of you are already in a very happy, harmonious reunion state and possibly even working together towards some shared mission or purpose. Because this higher timeline already exists energetically, it might feel very off to you to be doing things on your own or to be alone in some sense here in the physical on this particular timeline at this time. But know that nothing is going wrong in all of this. In fact, I feel that the reason there's so much heaviness around the heart space is because you do have this very powerful gift and ability of sensing into these higher timeline potentials. And this can create some pain at times because you are so highly intuitive that you feel those disconnects in a much more amplified way than other people feel them. And when I'm talking about disconnects, I mean you can sense that there are higher potentials, connections, solutions, etc. on these higher timelines. And when you can sense into those and then are also consciously aware of the current reality, it can actually create amplified feelings of tension or sadness. Someone who is less capable of sensing into these higher potentials might actually have a kind of bliss in their ignorance, so to speak. And I don't mean ignorance in a negative connotation. I mean it in the literal sense, meaning they are unaware. They aren't necessarily aware of these higher timeline potentials, and therefore they won't feel that sadness or that longing for them, if that makes sense. I know this is a very esoteric conversation, but I feel like for someone listening, this really gets to the core of who you are as a soul. Some of your profound intuitive gifts and abilities, and how some of those gifts, although they are gifts from a spiritual perspective, can actually create at times certain negative symptoms or side effects. Again, like this intensified feeling of longing or heaviness, when you can see that something in the physical isn't yet fully matching up with its highest potential. Do let me know in the comments, by the way, if that resonates with anyone. I haven't even pulled a card yet. That really just seemed to come out of the blue there. So I know that someone listening really manifested that message. And I always love hearing from all of you in the comment section under these videos. I love building that sense of community with each other here. Okay, so finally, let's get into shuffling the cards. Now, if you would like me to channel specifically for you and your situation, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. These are forms of energetic transference, and this allows me to pick up more easily on your energy and channel more specifically for you and your situation. So here we have the sun in the reverse position. This is really interesting. This speaks to some kind of a delayed new beginning. And the sun here is clarified by the Six of Cups in the reverse position. This Six of Cups reversed can speak to someone who is holding on to the past, possibly seeing a situation for its potential rather than its current reality. And again, this is playing perfectly into what we just spoke on here. I'm hearing someone's guides say, you have this really powerful spiritual gift of being able to sense into the highest potential of others, but you still have to honor yourself, meaning your physical current timeline self, and respond and react according to how that person is treating you in the physical 3D world, meaning to either withdraw your energy or set boundaries when someone is not acting in alignment with their own higher version of self. Even though you can see that potential, it's important to really honor you as this beautiful physical being that you are here on this current timeline. Now, of course, things can shift and grow and transform moving into the future, and we can always hold space for that. But sometimes the very way that we hold space for the transformation of a connection is by having the courage to withdraw our energy or return that energetic focus on ourselves and away from the person. And I feel like that's a powerful lesson coming through for a divine feminine here who might be feeling this past looking kind of coming back here. I see someone looking in a rear view mirror metaphorically. So the next clarifier card is the Chariot in the reverse position. So Divine Feminine, this is a card of you emotionally feeling like you are not in control, meaning you might be feeling something emotionally at this time that you feel is beyond your control, that you feel came out of nowhere. This might even be a theme of your life where sometimes you are just hit with these waves of emotion that seem to come out of nowhere and that you don't really know how to control. And I feel that this is a lesson here in surrender, that a powerful thing that you've been learning is how to release that need to control the process, to trust what your beautiful self is feeling and is processing through your emotions, even if it doesn't fully make sense. In fact, sometimes when these heavy emotions come up, it could actually be your more subconscious layers of your body, the emotional body, the mental body, the energetic body, processing out traumas or pent up emotions from situations that, in terms of linear time, could have occurred months or even years ago. Again, these could be processed out in a way that feels very random and very illogical to the conscious mind, but we are really being guided to trust the process here. And the third clarifier card is the Sun. This time in the traditional tarot, it came out in the upright position. So it's interesting because the energy oracle card was this deck's version of the Sun reversed. And that's how someone's conscious mind was perceiving the situation. I just saw 1111, a beautiful number synchronicity. So the fact this card is now coming up upright tells me that you may feel as though something here is being set back or delayed, or that you're in some kind of rut. But from a much broader perspective, you are being shifted in such a powerful way. And I feel even if at the conscious level, you were to allow yourself to look back and see what milestones you've reached or how much you've accomplished, it would bring you a realization that maybe specifically today or yesterday, something that's come up emotionally has caused you to see yourself from an artificially limited perspective, or to be so focused on some of the pain of what's coming up that you missed the bigger picture of how far you've come. So with all of that to set the tone for the reading, let's go ahead and reshuffle the cards here. I really want to see what's going on with you and a divine masculine. So this could be a divine masculine energy internally. We all do have a balance of both the divine feminine and divine masculine within us. This also could be an external person or situation. It could be platonic, romantic, an environment, whatever the case is. And of course, I will let you know if I'm picking up a very specific divine masculine energy, such as a soulmate or a twin flame, etc. Okay, so what does the divine feminine need to know in her relationships at this time? Wow, okay, the first card to come out is the throat chakra, communication. But what I'm getting most strongly is you, divine feminine, staying in your power, keeping your own throat chakra open by living in your truth, focusing on staying in that energy of truth, no matter how difficult at times it might be to speak and to connect with your inner truth, even when it isn't what other people want to hear or know. That is very, very powerful. And in love, this is actually what is keeping the channel of communication open. When I say keeping the channel open, I don't necessarily mean that physical communication is manifesting all the time through that channel, but it's like you're leaving yourself open energetically to receive communication when it is ready to come through. So I do see some of that communication coming through this channel as well. I am going to clarify these cards. So the first card I have to clarify from the traditional tarot is the Seven of Pentacles. I feel like you've done a lot of work on yourself, divine feminine. Specifically, I keep getting this energy of someone who's very strong mentally and emotionally, and someone who's very confident. But your confidence, whoever I'm speaking to here, has been developed through profound inner work and self-awareness. You've really connected with your true inner self. And I'm hearing most people walk around very fragmented because every time they experience a trauma, even trauma in just the form of feeling rejected by someone or something, they over time fragment themselves energetically as they betray and hide and shove down parts of themselves to be accepted. It's almost like they're leaving pieces of their soul with different people who rejected them or hurt them in some way until they themselves feel diluted, feel like a shell of their former selves, feel very fragmented and detached. And I feel like you have gone through all of that, but you've put yourself back together, or you are very much in the process of doing that. You are really reconnecting all of those pieces of yourself that you may have lost or abandoned or betrayed. It's kind of poetic, but I'm hearing it's almost like this phase of your life, metaphorically or maybe literally, if some of you are traveling, it's almost like you are going to every corner of the world and retrieving parts and pieces of yourself and putting yourself back together, going through this deep self-reconnection, this sort of highly spiritual journey. Now, of course, in literal terms, that might look very different depending on who you are and your proclivities, your circumstances, but this could look like writing, journaling. For some of you working with a counselor or a life coach, this could look like watching material like this or other videos that really are designed to get you in touch with your intuition and your inner self. Whatever this looks like for you, I feel like you've been on this beautiful journey of putting yourself back together, whereas most people are very fragmented. And this is making you a powerful example to others of someone who is very self-reconnected, although externally, this journey might look very messy at times because truth carries a very pure frequency, but it will also destroy anything that is out of alignment with truth. And so it's a very powerful energy as well. This card just resembles someone who's very perseverant, and I feel like that's you, but that's also being reflected in Divine Masculine's energy, because I'm sensing a newfound determination or perseverance in the Divine Masculine that's actually reflecting the inner work that you've done on yourself. I keep getting the sense like a Divine Masculine is setting their mind to something or shifting their focus, rechanneling their focus in a more powerful way. This has been a theme that's been coming up in recent readings. So you might be feeling this on your internal Divine Masculine. Maybe that work you've done self-reconnecting energetically, emotionally, spiritually, is beginning to reflect in more external ways, even in material ways and opportunities, etc., as it begins to reflect on your internal Divine Masculine, which is more associated with the external physical material world. For others of you, again, this very well could be a masculine connected to you who's feeling a newfound perseverance towards you or towards this connection, or at least for some of them, this might look like a desire to work on themselves to become the person that you need them to be in order to, it's like to rise up to the occasion. That's the kind of energy that I'm getting from the masculine here. Now, the second card is the Six of Pentacles. So this card really represents the characteristics of the relationship between the two of you. And I use that word relationship regardless of whether it is purely at this time an energetic relationship or whether it's a physical relationship. This is the relationship generally between the divine masculine and divine feminine energy, which is at the bottom of the deck. We have Goddess of the Moon upright. This is a card of divine feminine empowerment. So I'm getting that divine feminine, you rebalanced the equation by stepping up into your power. And this is calling forth reciprocated, balanced energy from the masculine, who in the past may have been participating with you in a very unbalanced way. Again, it's almost like calling him to rise up to the occasion. I'm also getting something about a secret awakening or a secret glow up. It's almost like a divine feminine here did work on herself in secret or in private, where other people really couldn't see and may have wondered where she went. It's almost like the divine feminine disappeared and went through this massive glow up and is now re-emerging into the physical world, surprising everyone with this major glow up that she has gone through. So if you are a divine feminine listening, I feel that you've made radical changes within yourself, specifically your energetic field, that others are beginning to feel mesmerized by and are actually beginning to respond to in a very different way than they've responded to you in the past. Specifically, this is attracting in a lot into your heart chakra space with the fourth chakra, the heart chakra, in the upright position. I feel like you are in this very loving, authentic, heartfelt energy. And this open-heartedness is actually calling back in a lot of positive attention and interactions at this time. And I don't just mean romantically. I feel like people want to treat you like royalty, with respect and with compassion and love, because they are reflecting to you your very open heart chakra center. Now, of course, as I've said in many videos, there will always be those who are triggered by your open heart and by your light. But on the whole, people are very mesmerized and attracted to your wide open heart chakra center and these powerful up levelings that have taken place in your energy field. And as a result of all of this, again, there is this balancing out of the energies. So I'm getting that any imbalanced dynamics, whether at work, in relationships, friendships in your life, are being rebalanced. What this means is if someone isn't willing to participate with you in a balanced way, I'm laughing because right as I was saying that, at the bottom of the deck, we have walking away and broken heart reversed, meaning you've healed your heart to the point where, because you accept all parts and aspects of yourself through self-love, your energy cannot tolerate rejection from others, meaning if someone else is rejecting you, pushing you away, not treating you with respect, you no longer latch onto that in an unhealed way. You simply fade out of their experience. You simply disconnect from that because your heart has healed beyond needing to prove your worth to anyone or anything. And again, you're going to see that dynamic playing out not just in love and romance, but in every area of your life. It's like you've reached a point where, because you know the worth and value of your presence and of your energy, you no longer stay on the edge, kind of somewhat keeping people in your life who are not really being balanced with you, not really participating with you in a way that is serving the both of you equally. And you've grown so much to that extent that you, with indecision reversed, are very decisive and particular about who you allow into your life and who you allow to remain in your life. I'm hearing many people want to get into your inner circle at this time. For some reason, the word coveting, like many people are coveting being in your circle or being close to you, whether you realize that or not. which is why you're also being guided to use increasing discernment as to who you let fully into your confidence. Remember, Divine Feminine, your energy is a gift, and anyone who disregards this gift or dishonors this gift is not worthy of receiving it. And the third clarifier card here was actually the Ace of Cups. This can symbolize new beginnings, particularly new beginnings in love. But the interesting thing is this card is actually coming out on the other, almost like the masculine here wants to start over or start fresh or wants to really renew this connection. So this could represent new love entirely coming in the form of a new person for you, Divine Feminine. But for others of you, this could be the same person wanting to really rekindle something together or to kind of wipe the slate clean here is what I'm getting. So I'm going to go ahead and reshuffle the cards here. What else can I channel for the beautiful Divine Feminines listening? Stay the course, hold the vision. With adjacent possibilities reversed, I'm also hearing eliminate distractions from your mind. Because what I'm getting is there might be a lot of people right now, again, trying to get into your circle, trying to get into conversation with you, and it's very important to use a lot of discernment because your energy is very, very powerful at this time. And I have the feeling there may be certain people or situations in your life that have been a bit distracting. And because they've been distracting, they may have been a little unbalanced to you energetically with Angel of Balance reverse. Yeah, I feel like it's time to really come back to yourself and stabilize yourself if you felt distracted by other people or situations recently, and to really re-clarify what it is you desire to create or attract or manifest in your own life. I'm also getting a strong message that if you do have a strong sense of longing or desire for a particular masculine or a connection, someone from your past, someone coming in, I'm hearing that you are to be doing the opposite of what your fear and anxiety is telling you to do. If your fear and anxiety is telling you to overgive to that person, to step out of your power, to try and push things into place, I feel like you're being guided to do the opposite, to actually refocus on yourself, to take that longing kind of energy and direct it towards creative outlets or avenues that further your own goals and dreams. And that in doing this, doing the opposite, so to speak, this will actually really magnetize your energetic field and ironically will attract in exactly that love and positive attention and interaction and connection that you desire, whether it's through that person or through someone new who enters your life and gives you the love that you've been envisioning and desiring. Whatever your heart's desires are there, I see it's almost like they come through you having the courage and the confidence to refocus that emotionally intense energy towards yourself and into those creative outlets and avenues that could look like anything for you. This could be your work, your passion, your own self-care, whatever for you represents that creativity. This could be a hobby. Whatever it is for you, I see that focusing energy into that is the best investment that you can make for yourself. And it also makes you very magnetic for the other things that you desire as well. So I am going to pull a Rumi Oracle card to close the first reading here on YouTube. But if you have resonated with the reading so far, we will be continuing it on our beautiful soul tribe on Patreon. So I will be reading more into what the Divine Masculine here is thinking and feeling, as well as any further spirit guide or higher self messages for the Divine Feminine and any other pieces of information or details that want to come through that reading that will be co-created by you. If you do choose to tune into that Patreon reading, then your energy will co-create whatever messages come through. So the link to the Patreon extended reading is in the pinned comment and description box under the video. But for now, the last card here, which is so fitting, is Beyond the Threshold of Fear. And I say that this is fitting because I feel that for the Divine Feminine specifically, there may be some lingering fears or anxieties coming up at this time in your life being processed out, asking you to have the courage again to take that energy and to refocus it back into you or into your vision. So I will be just reading a little bit from the guidebook here as well. Enter the lion's jungle. Don't think about getting hurt. Fearful thoughts are phantoms of the mind. No one is harmed in this jungle. Everything is compassion and love. It is your fear holding you back, like a bar behind the door. Rumi. And the guidebook also says, after so long, you are changing your relationship to fear. No more shall it hold you in its thrall. You are becoming able to observe it, to witness it, even to have compassion, rather than resistance. Instead of unconsciously sabotaging your growth and choosing to slumber in darkness, you awaken and delight in the light and sound of your own divine being. Thank you so much again to all of you who are tuned in here today. If you did connect with the reading, I invite you to subscribe, join our beautiful community of like-minded, conscious, creative beings here on YouTube. You can also follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Magnetize Yourself. And of course, if you do feel guided to continue this reading along with me, the extended version of the reading where we will be heading to next is in the pinned comment and description box under this video. I hope you all have a beautiful remainder of your week, and I will connect with you here again in Friday's reading.